Welcome back to the Flurry Sports Podcast, and let's get a little housekeeping out of the way. So, usually we go through the end of the Super Bowl. We have one more episode after the Super Bowl, except for the 1 year where we made a bunch of predictions and did not show up after the Super Bowl. Bad scheduling on our part. This year, just so we're all clear, immediately after the Super Bowl is the Olympics. And I feel like we always have a good time with the Olympics. There's always a crazy random ass story that comes with the Olympics. So we're going to be through the end of the Olympics. And after that, obviously,
yes,
we got such a packed sports schedule. After that, we'll be taking the break between seasons and I guess probably coming back for March Madness.
I think so. Usually we come back like a week before. I think we can just come back for it. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. So just so you know, after the Super Bowl, no time off. We jump straight into the Olympics. We're over in Milan. Boots on the ground, potentially, if anyone wants to fly us out. We haven't had any conversations with that. But if anyone needs us to judge any bobsled alongside Flava Flav, maybe judge some triple axles with some figure skating, Jake and I know what's going on. So we will have all of the coverage, some predictions, and we'll see if any Russian women get horse tranquilizers injected into their heart again, because that's what happened last time. That was bullshit. And we're not going to let that stand this time. We will have a big spotlight on all of the bullshit happening with the Olympics. But that's a ways away. We got football to talk about, Jake. There's so much happening right now.
I will say, just a little teaser for the Olympics talk. I want to get my headline straight. Did you hear about the hockey stadium? That's been my favorite news story so far. Yeah, that it's totally not ready. They're like talking about different things. On the 11th, it became a thing because someone released a news story that was like, stadium almost ready. People are pretty happy with it. It's like, what do you mean almost ready?
No, yeah.
1 second.
I feel like it would have been okay, maybe potentially, if it was already built. For those who do not know, again, Olympics start, I think it's February 6th. Obviously, immediately after the Super Bowl, very early or very soon. You know, the Olympics starts in like 3 weeks. So the hockey arena that they are going to be playing in is almost built. And again, the IOC, International Olympic Committee, every time they do anything like this, it's always a complete disaster. They're always completely behind on everything. I feel like every job that on the Olympic committees like a freelance temporary job. I know that because I've looked at some of these jobs and potentially thought about hiring. Like they're such a disgustingly, horribly run agency. I don't even know what they are. It's bad. It's bad. But yes, they are almost done. Potentially, did we talk about this on the show last week? Did I talk about it with you? That security guard, that mysterious.
Yes, we talked about that. There's a security guard who died, maybe by heart attack, but also by weather.
Right. Yeah, it was like weather. It was cold. They're calling it cardiac arrest, but they're doing a big investigation. I don't think there's a big investigation.
I'm reading a CNN article. I don't want this to monopolize the show, but this is so funny. So a month ago, the NHL commissioner said, put out a blank statement. There's like, listen, if the ice isn't safe or we're worried about the stadium, we're not going to send NHL players. There was some concern around the quality of the new ice itself. The league has already had to concede that the rinks will be slightly wider and shorter than usual dimensions. There's been small holes appearing in a previous test event in the ice.
How? I don't even know how that's physically possible.
And the infrastructure is behind schedule, and the capacity may be not what was initially desired. But this, Zach, is what I thought was very funny. On Monday, so I believe today, the NHL sent a joint statement. The test had a good trial run and provided important insight into current status. While challenges are inherent, we expected the work necessary will help us fix issues around the clock. But this was why I stopped and had to read this out loud, because that's like from the joint statement. And then the head of like the Olympic Committee Tell me that how much confidence this fills you with, Zach, okay? We know how difficult it is to have a high level of quality of ice for the third game of the third period, but we're happy and confident. Yesterday, it was a good test because that was fantastic. The puck was sliding. We weren't bumping. There was some adjustment that's a little bit more slow, but that was a conclusive test. There's no reason that the NHL will not come.
I mean, first off, that person doesn't know anything about hockey.
The puck was sliding.
The goal stood still. Players were skating. I saw someone skate backwards. There
was almost no holes in the ice.
That doesn't make were there straws stuck up in the ice to make sure there's holes? I don't understand what's going on. That's not how water works.
Like, it's one of those Olympic things where that's the best part of the Olympics is
we use I figured it out. They have all that carbonated water in fucking Europe. And there's holes everywhere.
They didn't think it would matter. Yeah.
These guys stink. Come on.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Also, when things go wrong at the Olympics, it's problems you've never imagined before.
No, of course not. It's always new. It's always like how did we find ourselves in this problem?
In Rio de Janeiro, when the water was so dirty, they were doing that canoe slalom event and the guy got hit by a sofa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they weren't used to doing tests for large pollutants.
Somehow every Olympics is like an improv show. It's like shout out something, shout out something in the back. I'll work it into the joke.
Somehow, the one with the least amount of news was Sochi because it was the Russian government, and that one a guy got killed.
Yep,
we don't talk about that enough. That didn't open, and then that guy mysteriously died.
Oops, I don't know. Natural causes. Let's not look into it.
And then the next Olympics, the Russia had a little something to prove, to your point, in their hearts.
They did. That 14-year-old girl. It's incredible with a horse heart.
So if you like this kind of Olympic coverage, it's coming. We should figure out some sort of draft.
Sure. I'm down for that. It's going to be tough, but yes.
Help me limit this. Folks at home, if you have other ideas to limit this, it should be a country draft, but we can only take one country in one event. Like if you take the U.S. men's hockey team, you can't take the U.S. for anything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we say like 10 events. I don't think I want to do every country, but like big enough that we have to take crazy countries.
Yeah.
But I think that could be fun because then it'd be like if there's a sport where it's like Latvia's for sure going to win ski,
Of course. I do think let's get a big fantasy league going. It can't just be us two. Let's get a lot of people in on this. And because I would love for it to be like, I'm rooting for India's bobsled team somehow.
Yeah.
We got a wagon, we got a ringer here. He's going to be incredible.
The Swiss have a great, who gets Switzerland in the biathlon?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the Michael Jordan of biathlons for sure.
I know. That would be good. And then there's some strategy too, because it's like Canada's going to be good at a lot of shit. But do you take like the Canadian women's hockey team that's going to medal, but maybe not win? Or do you like go down the rung a little bit?
And not to put this into the ether here, but we also have to figure out how the hell we're scoring this.
So instead of fantasy, I know this is appealing to live folks. In my head, it's we draft a certain number of sports allocated to a country. So it's like you got to fill 10 sports. And I would say, I'm taking India in men's luge. Okay. And then you get points by medal. Okay. So if they get just bronze,
pure medal, that's it.
Just pure medal, 100%. Because there's too many different qualifications and different things. I think we just want to do medal.
Sure.
I think we could do a fourth place if we wanted. 1 point for poo-poo fourth. Should we subtract a point for fourth place because you were so fucking close?
Maybe. I mean, we can.
It's kind of fun because then if someone really fucks up on the podium, not only do you miss, but you subtract one. No, I like it, but that is the easiest way to do this. Like 2 months out, I think we just do points for medal, but then you have to it incentivizes like not necessarily a person, but I think because you can't just take the US over and over again, so you still have to do some research.
Right. Yes, of course. Yeah, I like this. I think let's combine men and women So if you take U.S. curling, it's men and women curling. If you take, whatever it is, just because of a number of sports, I think that's the best way to do it.
I think so. Would you get double points then if they medal in both?
Yeah, it's just pure.
And that's true for
looking at
sport. Yeah.
You're looking at total medals in snowboarding, and you just do it that way.
Yes. I will say for snowboarding and other similar ones, I think we should be specific about like the event in snowboarding. I don't think you should be able to say all skiing. I think you should have to say slalom.
Not event, but there's there's cross country and downhill. I think those are separate.
Yeah. A little more specific. Because otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't take all of ice skating.
Right. Yeah. It's speed skating. Then you got figure skating.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
And then that's where I'm starting to lose my level of Olympic knowledge. So let's not keep listing them because I'm running dry.
And the others.
Well, that's why I was like, let's also not make these too broad, because if I have to take 10 or whatever the number is, I don't know how many events I got in my back pocket. But maybe that's
a couple new events. Maybe those are double points.
Maybe we should do 10 so it makes us really stretch what we're gonna get. I love that.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
That's good. That's good. And I like your format of the genders being neutral, because I think that really inflates some like obvious top picks.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And it gives you for the countries that may have literally one person qualifying, it's like, okay, at least it's combined,
100%. And you like get a shot. Well, it's also like, I think that would help for, China in figure skating, where it's like I don't necessarily, I'll do a look, but like I have a feeling somewhere along the way you will medal.
Right.
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe.
Again, I have to do more research. And I'm fine. I'll say the obvious one out loud. Canada hockey. If you don't fucking medal in both, what a disappointing year.
Yeah.
That would be for Canada.
I may not even take China just out of principle. I'm not backing the enemy.
I think you should. And I'd like to see where your principles fall. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a feeling you're going to be like, I'm not going to take China principle. Ooh, Russia luge.
I mean, fair. China, they have to have they've been training for skeleton. It's their year. They've been sending people down mountains face first.
Yeah, I can't wait for someone to come in and just have a really passionate pick. Like Mexico's got an alpine skier no one's been talking about.
Well, I'm going to be doing some research. I'll find the dark horse here. Yeah. I'm excited. That's what I'm going to do.
There's also some like, how far do you let curling go down? Because you're going to want some good curling representation. You need a curling medal on your roster.
For sure. If I don't get any points from curling, it's going to be it's going to sour my Olympic mood, to be sure.
And that's how I feel about bobsled.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, Jake's a big bobsled guy.
Jamaica, number one overall pick.
They're back.
That's my principle. Yeah.
That's right. Let's make another movie about it. We got to win, though, first.
Called Two Wool Runnings.
Very great. Great. Good. Awesome. Olympic talk, back burner.
Set
football. Yeah. Now you know what's at stake. If you have any ideas, any ways to make that better, let us know. But now we got to talk about some football, because we got 3 games left of the NFL season. There's 1 game left of the college football season tonight. After, if you're not listening to this live, it's already happened. So unfortunately, football's coming to an end. It's kind of sad. It's kind of a little bit relieving in some areas.
Very much so. Well, for you, yeah.
Well, for not just for work, but also it's like, okay, for the Packers, let's get to the offseason. Let's stop talking about
my God. That's so true. I want folks to know, because I know we talked about it a little on the show last week. I've literally had every emotion about the Matt LaFleur thing, including where I land now, which is, thank fucking Christ it's settled.
I would rather it still be a question.
Oh, I agree, but like, what are we doing? Also, it's just so infuriating. 100%. Football is so mind-numbing. I didn't even know. We're going to talk about coaches a little bit, so I didn't know if I was going to bring this thought up. Like, this isn't even. It is Zach and I have talked before. The Rooney Rule and its defense, and also why people are fucking assholes about it. But take race out of it for a second. Half of the crowd just went nuts. By the way, half of the people were like, "Yeah, let's do it." So take race out of it. For
about time.
Yeah, it's about time. The fact, why are we interviewing anybody? The fact that the Dolphins were like, keep everybody else. Jeff Hafley's our fucking guy. We've seen enough. I've seen the tape. Like, even Harbaugh, you know what I'm saying? Like, the greatest I've heard so many people be like, this is the worst cycle of coaching hiring ever, which someone should tell that to all the people fucking firing coaches, because that doesn't seem to matter at all. And be like, no, he's got a Super Bowl. He still is one of the most respected like team runners ever. That guy, we can't make him fucking interview.
Yeah, he just interview. It's whatever. Everyone's on an equal playing ground here.
It's just, but do you know what I mean? Like, Stefanski's probably, I don't want to pick on him too much because I like him and I'm rooting for him. But what a great example of like whoever one of these guys you like. Harbaugh's like the comical example, so maybe he doesn't fit. But like Stefanski, great. You think he's going to be a good coach? Fucking interview him. He just got canned. He got canned in Cleveland. You don't want to interview him? Maybe someone's better.
Well, that too. But also, ask what happened. Like,
and compare him to someone else. It's not an interview to say, hey, let's meet.
No. Well, what's interesting, the way, because Eric Bieniemy is going to interview for the Chiefs offensive coordinator job, because they're already saying Nagy's gone. He's going to go get a head coaching job. On one hand, it's like, what is Andy Reid going to interview Eric Bieniemy about? Because they've been together for so fucking long. Yeah. However, what would be the funny, not good, not morally good, but funniest twist of fate in this is if they're interviewing Bieniemy as the Rooney Rule guy here. It's coordinator, so I don't think Rooney Rule qualifies for coordinator. But it'd be funny if it's like, nah, after interviewing him.
Well, it's a great example, and this isn't me picking on the Rooney Rule per se, but it's making fun of like the process of it, which is okay, we need a Rooney Rule. You know what they've never fucking added to the Rooney Rule, to your point? You don't have to interview a white guy. I don't think that's part of the rule. I think you which leaves it open. Like, why wouldn't you have any interview rule be like you have to interview at least 2 people? There's no set number of people they have to interview.
No. And there's no rule. Yeah, there's no stipulations to the interview. It could be a phone interview. Call them up, say, how you doing? Got voicemail. Oh, well, that's an interview.
It just cracks me up because, 10 jobs have come open and and a third of them at least have been people of like moderate success. And
I think this is one of the most talented groups of coaches that have been fired. And I mean, just based on 4 guys, you can even say 3. Tomlin, obviously one of the most accomplished coaches of all time.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh is right there. He's not much different than Tomlin, to be honest. And then Pete Carroll, people have fully soured on Pete Carroll. That's fine, but he is extremely successful.
Yeah. That's a really good point by you, because people are like fully out on him. Even like Stefanski and Dable were like getting coach of the year votes.
Stefanski's won it twice.
He's been coach of the year.
Stefanski won coach of the year twice. He won a playoff game in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's insane. It is insane all the way around. And then not even like top of the list, but there's also guys like Brian Flores, publicly not fired for anything to do with on the field success.
It's all off-field stuff with him.
Correct. So there's even McDaniel had success. So it's like, and like, depending on your view of Tua, you might be like, I think it'd be way too simplistic to go this way, but be like, if he had any other ingredients in the locker room, like, let's try him immediately again. So all of that, all I'm saying is like, all of these like embattled coaches, the fact that these ownership groups would take longer to fire someone than to hire someone is wild to me. Like, you're
Yeah.
agonizing over how many decisions or talks did they have about what they were going to do with Sean McDermott? How many years did they have or whatever? And it's like, we're
Yeah.
going to turn around, or like, how long did it take to fire Raheem Morris? And how long did it take to hire Kevin Stefanski? Like, we don't want to think a little bit more about things.
On one hand, I agree, but on the other hand, several of these jobs opened because of the people who have already been fired.
I know. Well, that's how come. Why don't we have a set timetable where this all happens?
I mean,
takes the magic out of it. Yeah.
Well, it takes the magic out of it, but it's like you could apply that to the transfer portal. You can apply that to a million things.
That's what I'm saying. Why don't we fix our shit the way that we could very easily?
Well, as regimented as a practice schedule is in blocks, it's militaristic scheduled. We can't schedule anything else that has nothing to do with on-field stuff. We're terrible at it.
Yeah, not to jump all over the place, but that also has cracked me up that it's like I've never heard people talk about football practices more than finding like what makes Kurt Cignetti so good. The number of people I've had a year break down like he's a believer in non-contact practices. Like I'm like, I don't give a shit. I think he's a pretty good like game manager. I don't think that really had.
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
I can promise you it doesn't.
And the guys at Barstool who I keep hearing, which by the way, I listen to the show, but it cracks me up because they keep comparing him to Les Miles. Like I was like, yeah, dude, Les Miles sucks. First that he's great. I understand. Like, I don't know if that's our comparison model, but the NFL is insane.
Yes.
So where we're at, maybe because we talked about this before the show, but line up for folks is when you're listening, I'm sure more news will break, is the Giants fired John Harbaugh.
Wrong. Hired John Harbaugh.
Oh, I thought that's what I said. What did I say? Fired?
Yeah.
Well,
they fired Dayball, hired Harbaugh.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Better have success this year.
Clip that, save it. I'll be the first one to call it. Yeah.
Maybe already. Who knows?
Yeah. So John Harbaugh, New York Giant.
By the way, let's stay on that for 1 second. There's a report that came out today that executives with the Giants met with Harbaugh secretly during the interview process.
Yeah, this was crazy. This news
to say that he would not have to answer to Shane. Shane is not his boss. If you're doing this, why is Shane here?
Zach, I'm so glad we didn't skip past this because I had this slot during the week. I've given up on Joe Shane being fired. I made a song about it 2 years ago. Claire just brought that up. She was like, this guy still has a fucking job. I can't believe it.
Yeah, me neither. What?
There's literally no way he ever gets fired, right? Mars just decided he's the dude.
I don't know, but I mean, maybe it's because he drafted a couple good players. Like he drafted.
We're in on Dart, so now
he drafted Neighbors, which not like it took a genius to do that. But also, it feels like if you make a good trade, you're good. You know, he made that trade for Brian Burns, which was a great trade.
Yeah.
Brian Gutekunst made the trade for Micah Parsons, which I think is a good trade for both sides. But that's a good trade. And now he gets an extension after completely ruining a franchise. And there's several other, I mean, Brandon Beane. A lot of people want him fired. He's made a couple good trades. He's fine. So it's really weird. I really don't understand it. But yeah, Shane is still there. I can only assume he's fired next year. And if that's the case, do you have to fire? Well, I guess Harbaugh would just name his preferred GM, which
he can survive it. Yeah, I was going to say he's one of the few names who could survive that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's last straw. It's like I put you with John Harbaugh and it still didn't work.
But also, I'm putting you with John Harbaugh, but you have no say over what he does. And he's kind of your boss. So have fun.
Well, and so I guess that would be the thing. The only thing there is, if I was Shane, it's like, fuck. But I guess the only thing there is if that was Harbaugh's ask anyway, like, hey, I'm going to put Harbaugh with a guy that he can kind of be in charge. Can I keep that is somewhat. So basically you got a new GM without getting one. I mean, it's fine. I still think they should have hired Joe Shane's kid. He was right.
He was right. People forget. You know,
big eye roll, Daniels. Big eye roll, stupid son, telling me what to do.
Yeah. Give me another Uncrustable. Yeah.
I don't want it. I have to make fun of Saquon Barkley on camera now. Sorry.
While the owner's in tears. It was the worst day of his life. Second was when he found out he has terminal cancer, but he just really wants Saquon back. And he said, no, I will not be able to sleep at night if he goes to Philadelphia. He's not going to Philadelphia.
That's the part that gets me is like
so good.
Being so wrong so confidently. He also only got Brian Burns because he was fucking best friends with that guy.
Yeah, it was a deal. It was like a favor.
So silly. We have to dump this guy. You're my first ask. It's insane. And we saw it. It was on camera. I feel like they're keeping him so that it can't be tied to the Hard Knock stuff. I think that's part of it. Is like, I don't want to fire him for that decision.
I think that's past. I think it's far enough. Not for a lot of people. But I feel like it's far enough in the past where,
yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Well, here's a question to you in the land of hypotheticals. If Daniel Jones finishes the season in any kind of like we're still talking about him way, because he did just disappear after like week 9, does that make it worse? Because it was deafening at the start of I feel like Daniel Jones somehow got Dable fired, but not Shane.
I don't think that's wrong. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you know what? If he ended up starting at least one game at safety for the Colts, I think Dayball would have been safe too.
So true. That was what a crazy thing that happened. So yeah, so Harbaugh's there. Shane has no control.
Correct. He's locked in his office.
Yeah,
we will not hear from him again.
Stefanski's in Atlanta, which
they fired Raheem Morris. They hired Stefanski.
Yeah, I don't love the firing of Raheem Morris because I think he's a good coach, and I think like there's stuff to manage. But I think like that said, Stefanski is a well-heralded, to your point, offensive mind, and like I think clearly overcoaching a clusterfuck in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So if
Penix, I think he'll be really good.
Rights the ship.
Well, he's also has the experience with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota.
Yes.
So
true.
Penix, I don't think will be ready for the start of the year. Potentially could miss.
Yeah.
The majority of the year.
And you think they do go back to Kirk?
With the signing of Stefanski, I feel like it. He knows the offense.
Yeah, that's true. Are you saying fantasy owners should give Kyle Pitts one more?
Kyle Pitts is a free agent. He may not even be back.
Stefanski might bring him back. He's a big part of the offense.
Better learn how to block.
Yeah, better do fucking anything, dude.
Yeah.
I do like that. I think it makes sense to like, let's go in on offense. The Atlanta, as much as I like Morris, does need like an identity. So I think let's put up a shit. I
still think it's
good
because Raheem Morris was in his second stint there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It feels like they gave up on him too quickly. It sounds like he burnt a lot of bridges within the building, but that also surprises me. So I don't understand.
I have a feeling, I'm not sure I'm surprised that he burnt bridges, but it takes two to tango. And so in baseball, they do it all the time where they bring in a manager for a rebuild. And that's how I've always kind of felt about Raheem Morris was like, you were here before, you're a steady hand. If you overachieve, maybe we'll keep you. But if not, like this has gone almost exactly to that script that it would in baseball of like, we exit a long-term plan, we have a short-term plan. And the moment someone else's long-term guy comes available, we go to a more established.
Yeah.
So not that Raheem isn't established, but I could see just especially when they gave up on him. Like, I feel like they moved on as soon as they're like, oh, we're going to be better next year.
Right.
Also makes difference. And then, so those are the two confirmed hirings.
Dolphins just confirmed.
Is confirmed. Jeff Hafley to the Dolphins.
Yeah, Packers defensive coordinator. He did really, really good at the end of the year. Did not. So, I mean, that's a great signing. Another good signing by Miami. I'm sure it'll. To be fair, he does have head coaching experience at Boston College. So,
yeah, Malik Willis to Miami confirmed, by the way.
That'd be interesting. I don't hate that.
I don't. I was talking with friend of the show, Pete Osmond, earlier today. I think Malik at Miami and Pittsburgh, assuming Rodgers doesn't come back, were
Pittsburgh feels good to me.
Doesn't Malik Willis feel like the same kind of caliber of quarterback they've been trying at Pittsburgh for like 5 years? Yeah.
That one feels good.
That feels good. I hope Pittsburgh, because I want him to get an actual starting opportunity. Sincerely, I want him to have a shot.
Yes.
So that would be good. Miami, it would be a QB competition. I don't want anyone to have to go to Cleveland, but I think
Miami's confirmed they're cutting bait with Tua.
Yeah. So
he's not even going to be there.
Right. So I think Malik would be good there. Only other thing would be I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. Like right away. Do you immediately go? Like, is Geno still the dude for a bit? Do you want someone else for a bit? I don't know. So
Geno signed a 2-year deal. I would imagine. I mean, they are going to draft Mendoza.
Yes,
they have to.
And by the way, open coaching spot: Mendoza to Vegas, Kurt Cignetti to Vegas, confirmed. I heard, and it must be true because Rex Ryan thought it today out loud.
Did he? Good job, Rex.
And he delivered it like, a lot of people think Cignetti do good in the NFL. We know where his guys get drafted. They've had to think about it, which to Rex's point, they must have. Tom Brady seems very smart. I'm sure he's thought about it.
Yeah, he's thought about a lot of things. Yeah. Cignetti in Vegas seems fun to me. Just like the city, the vibe.
Cignetti would be wearing that same jacket Al Davis always wore with the big collar. Yeah. Suddenly always in shades. Why does now Kurt Cignetti kind of look like Al Davis in my head?
A little bit.
Just
in, baby. I like it.
He would be, honestly, we might be onto something. He'd be sad. Kurt Cignetti, hold on a second. Don't get too excited because this isn't happening. But my brain, that it clicked. If we could get Mendoza, Cignetti, Genti in Vegas, it's kind of a brutal. That'd be sick. That'd be kind of awesome. Max Crosby's still on defense.
Right. Yeah. He decides to stay. And then they just need he brings his O-line coach, fixes the O-line.
Yeah.
They're back.
They run a lot of I formation.
Yes. Have to. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. The fullback 2 tight end looks. A lot of them.
Bring it back. I mean, why? I haven't seen a full house backfield since I played college football which was last week. But other than that, no one does it. We need 3 running backs in the backfield. Why can't we have that?
Why isn't there one? That is what I like about college football. As much as I hate this fucking team, like there's teams like Iowa out there where it's like
they're stuck in 1980. Yeah,
our thing is we play this style, and
it's so fun. College sports in general, because basketball, it's that too. Back in like the Bo Ryan Badgers, it's like, when we go to Wisconsin, we have to fucking dial it back because we've got to not make a mistake.
This was ruined because his personality was too strong to stay there forever. It's a shame that Chicago still doesn't play 4-4 defense. Like you should just be like, you play Chicago, guess what? You get one relic once a year where you got to play 4-4.
Tampa has to be in cover 2, Tampa 2, no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. And they are just picking people for that weird. Like, doesn't it feel like the Titans should be running Wishbone?
Yes. Mandatory, 100%.
And by the way, that might turn Pollard around.
Why not? Why not? Let's get through. Let's establish every head coach opening.
Yes. Those are the 3 filled.
Those are the 3 filled. Dolphins, Giants, Falcons are filled. There were 10 head coach openings. This is the most since 2022.
Yeah.
Which isn't that long ago. Of those 10 coaches, Jake, that were hired in 2022, how many do you think are still employed by that team?
Let's go with 3.
Wrong. 2.
Oh, damn it. Okay, who are they?
Kevin O'Connell, Vikings, and then Todd Bowles, Bucks. That feels like That's not that long ago that he took over as head coach.
No.
And he's been called for to get fired every year, and he is still there. They fired everybody else, though.
I was so happy they have held on to Todd Bowles. I was kind of waiting for it this time.
He better.
He's got to do better, but it's not as all right. He's got it. He's got it. Don't worry. I've got faith in my boy.
So the other 7 openings off the top of my head. So Raiders fired Pete Carroll.
Yep.
The Browns fired Stefanski. Obviously, he's in Atlanta. The Ravens fired Harbaugh. He's in the Giants. Tomlin stepped away. That's an interesting one because if he comes back and wants to coach, sounds like it's not this year, but the Steelers will still own his rights, so somebody has to trade for him in the same way Sean Payton stepped away and the Broncos had to trade for him.
So weird. Yeah.
Interesting situation there. Other openings, we got the Cardinals fired Gannon.
Yep.
There's 2 left, and I
believe they're Tennessee. I don't think
Tennessee. That's right.
And New York
mid-season.
Giants. Oh no, done. They're there. Buffalo.
Filled.
Other New York.
Buffalo just fired McDermott today, last night, whatever. Writing was on the wall for the entire season that if he didn't improve, he's gone. So maybe we should have spent a little less time crying to a referee on the plane ride home and maybe should have begged for his job.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Where was the line, do you think? Like if they lose next week instead, is it still a done deal? Like if they make the Super Bowl, I think he saves his job. But if they lose the championship game, do you think he's still gone?
I think there's a decent chance. Depends on how you lose, I suppose. But I think he still would have been gone just because it's like, I mean, again, writing's on the wall. The Chiefs are not here. The Chiefs are the boogeyman went away. You've trapped them in the closet. Now you got to go. And
I don't hate that logic because it's like, you know what it feels like in the AFC is a changing of the guard. And it's like the fact that you're not there.
It shows they missed the window. The opportunity's gone.
Because Lamar wasn't there either. You didn't have to even deal with the Ravens.
Joe Burrow wasn't there.
Yeah. That's so true. And you barely beat the Jags.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Even though I guess technically they shouldn't have been, they were projected to win, but not expected because the seeding. But you got to be better. And again,
they still almost
every time a team fires a coach, they feel like they can upgrade him, right? If you look around, do you think you can upgrade from Sean McDermott? In my opinion, the answer is yes.
I think for them, yes. Well, I'll be interested. I've heard today now they're leaning another offensive guy. I think you should.
Well, he's not an offensive coach. I think they have to go offense. They need to fix it.
Yeah.
You have the MVP and the offense isn't very good.
I think that's fair. I think you're probably right. I think what I'm leaning towards is maybe now I'm realizing, but do I think that's true for every team? Probably. So it's not a Buffalo specific solution. Sometimes I'm like, if you hire like a great defensive head coach, I think you can get a really good offensive coordinator. But a lot of these times teams don't do that. Though. Yeah.
I prefer the CEO head coach where the offensive coordinators calling plays, all of that. I prefer a special teams head coach if possible, like Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you hire a defensive head coach, special teams head coach, whatever, the offensive coordinator's calling plays, if you are good, that offensive coordinator's gone.
Yeah.
They're getting hired away.
Especially in Buffalo.
Right. So if you're saying, hey, obviously we're making a run with Josh Allen. We want to keep the band together. We want to turn it around quickly and make a run at it for the next 5, 6, 7 years. If you have an offensive coordinator or offensive head coach or whatever, then the offense isn't going to change at least. But if you have a coordinator come in again, then you're kind of fucked.
I can't have it. I mean, we'll get into it, but I can't. If that's Kingsbury, I want to throw up, dude. If he gets Buffalo, he gets rewarded with Buffalo. And I'm not saying it'll work, but that's like to be gifted Josh Allen and the perennial Buffalo Bills. I guess I would feel the same if he ends up in Baltimore. I just don't think he's going to end up in Baltimore. But
I agree. Buffalo's one of those places where I think the head coach kind of has to reflect the city. Like Pittsburgh, it for sure does.
Yeah.
Kingsbury, I think, will be called gay every time he steps in front of these Buffalo fans. Like, I don't think that would work. And I think, in the amount of snow there, I don't think he will even interview.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to go by place or do you want to go by guy? Because I have a place I want Kingsbury to go, but we can get back to him if we want to stick with who's the dude who's going to fill up in Buffalo.
Buffalo, if we want to pick somebody, I don't think Dayball is a bad idea.
I hope they're into him. I think he'd be good. For offense, like guys I've heard talked about, he's up there. I also keep hearing folks talk about I think he's the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. Starts with an M. Milton.
He just got fired.
Oh, so he could be a head coach. You're saying he's available.
He could be a head coach. He's available, yeah.
And I like Nagy there. I do like Nagy.
Nagy's interesting.
Chicago fit him kind of well.
I think so.
He was only fired for being a petty bitch about protecting their most valuable asset. You want me to play Justin Fields? I'll play him.
Right. Two other guys, if they go defensive, which again, I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I think you could say Flores anywhere because I think he's that good.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, would Saleh be okay there? I don't hate that.
No, and Saleh should do he's shown this year he can run a defense, but he's the team manager type. And right. I think fits the vibe very well. I think that's good. I think that's really good. Otherwise, Vance Joseph is getting talked about a lot, and I just don't know if they're going to go that route. But I think if they're going defensive guy, I also lean Flores because I think he also runs the team in a different way, and he is just coming from the Vikings. So if he scooped up any play calling mentality there or connections,
whoever wants to hire Flores, they need to do I'm not kidding, like a 6 to 8 hour interview with him because the way he coached in Miami was so fucking terrible.
Yeah.
He needs to be grilled, humiliated, pushed around, kind of tortured, and to see if he can crack. Because when he started in Miami, he was really good. And then he became one of the biggest fucking dicks of all time. And he pushed everybody away. And no one who even worked or played for him other than Van Ginkel wants to work or play for him again. So supposedly he learned because he went to Pittsburgh, learned under Tomlin, went to Minnesota, learned under O'Connell. I think he's going to be better. But the cracks didn't show until he started to get pushed around in Miami. And then he became such a negative dickwad. So they need to make sure that doesn't happen again.
For offensive guys, which I think I agree with you that be how they go in at Buffalo. I think the two Mike McDaniel doesn't seem like he fits.
That'd be a wild pairing, but who knows?
In division. I mean, McCarthy in Buffalo is not bad.
I don't
big white guy. Feels like
he's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And I think would fit I think his name value is enough that he feels like a win now coach. Yes, like that 100%. Would be the detriment of Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores, whoever gets him, is an investment. And I mean that positively of that's the type of hire he is he's going to be the next good head coach. McCarthy is one. He was a good coach. He's been at places that are perennial. No one talks about that. Schottenheimer, I really liked this year and thought he did a good job. As much shit as McCarthy got in Dallas, he consistently had one of the best offenses.
He was good. He was fine in Dallas. I mean, it's hard to win in Dallas for a variety of reasons.
Yes. And so I think Buffalo, he'd be good at managing. Listen, whatever you think of McCarthy, he's used to managing the Green Bay and the Dallas media press corps. I think that part would be a fish to water in Buffalo.
Right. And Buffalo does feel like a smaller community, right? In terms of sports communities. And I mean, obviously Green Bay forever. So I think that works. think that fits.
McCarthy getting a Super Bowl in Buffalo also feels like the end of a movie.
Yeah.
It's like what Dusty Baker won in Houston, where it's like, how did this guy end up in this cast? So
True.
I think that's good too. I would also say the same if like somehow it's like, how did Dick Vermeil get to coach?
Yeah.
Like, oh, that also makes sense. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
Anything else on Buffalo? Otherwise, we can jump around.
My official prediction's Dayball. I think they bring him back because Josh Allen hasn't been as good since.
Okay, I think that's good. I think I'm going to go McCarthy. I think that's my official prediction. Let's track, see how many we get right. Play along at home.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go to. I mean, where do you want to go next? Let's pick a place.
In division.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's stay with Miami. Is Halfley done?
Halfley.
Okay. Next division.
We got it.
We did it. Next division, let's just go to the north. Okay, the big ones. Yeah. So I think the one that people have a better feel for is Pittsburgh. Weirdly.
Yes.
So the vibe here, it's so interesting because I've heard all over the map of like, okay, their offense hasn't really developed since Big Ben left. We need to bring in a quarterback. We need to do all this stuff. Meanwhile, I keep hearing people like, but that's not the Pittsburgh way.
Right.
Like, we should bring in another big defensive guru to keep this going. So what way do you think they're going to go? Because I've been surprised how many defensive names. I've heard like Shula mentioned for this job.
Yeah. What I think they should do is hire Mike McCarthy, Pittsburgh guy. Fans would love him. Bring in an offensive head coach because you need to fix the offense. What I think they will do is, I mean, the connections between Flores and Tomlin is too big of a story to not do. Like, obviously Tomlin, DC at Minnesota, gets hired on as a young head coach for Pittsburgh, was there for 19 seasons. Flores just served as defensive coordinator for the Vikings for the past couple of years, would be another young head coach. Because I also think Pittsburgh's had 3 head coaches since 1970. I think they want a younger guy as well. So going with Flores and hoping, you get 2 decades out of him, I think that's what they'll do. He's already been in the building. He knows the guys. It does seem like you have to sell the locker room on the next head coach because of how loved Tomlin was. Yeah. So I do think they go defensive. I do think they go Tomlin. Shula is interesting just because, I mean, history of the game, right? Like that kind of pairs with Pittsburgh pretty well. But yeah, I would go with Flores. I think that makes the most sense.
Flores also was literally just there. So not to skip that, with Tomlin, and that was his rehabilitation job, Pittsburgh. So I think if they think they're close and want to keep it going and they just need new energy that goes there, because I think they're going to go offense, and just for sake of parity, I'm going to go a different route. I'm weirdly going to flip it from what you just said. I think this is where I'd like Daboll to go. I think
that would work too.
Daboll in Pittsburgh, good. And I want to see, I know you run into again the issue, which maybe they won't want to do, which is everyone's favorite game, which is find Daboll quarterback. So you'd also get to bring him in to be part of that. So if you still are in on the whole QB whisperer thing, which, say what you want, like, he was right about a lot of guys developing in the NFL. They just, Dart did it for him at the end, but he got good stuff out of most of his dudes. So
he pitched Harbaugh to sign with the Giants because of Dart. That's so interesting. Like, he wanted a good head coach in there because of how much he believes in Jackson Dart. And I think he's right.
Yeah. And listen, Daboll, when you watch tape, even from the Hard Knocks, like, he's got a good read on dude. So if you're Pittsburgh and you're like, if you were going to point out something Tomlin didn't do, it was find the next QB. So I think Daboll could do that. I definitely think personality-wise, he would fit what Pittsburgh already has. Same as I think Flores would be great at that too. But to go an offensive route, and I don't know, just a little younger than McCarthy. I know he's not old, but I think they could go like maybe this isn't fair because they've done it twice doesn't mean they'll do it again. I do feel like Pittsburgh's like, I don't want to hire again for another 10
Yeah, they
years.
will.
So,
Yeah, we want a younger guy.
yeah. So I think I'm going to go Dable there, but all those arguments also make sense for.
You just muted yourself. So as Jake is talking while I'm muted, I will also say that you're good. If they do go defensive head coach, I think a big part of the conversation will be who are you bringing in as offensive coordinator, because they vice versa too, because people, as big of a story as their offense has been over the past several years, their defense has been pretty bad too. Like they need what Tomlin, I think, failed at down the stretch of his tenure there with Pittsburgh is I think he's failed to create a good staff. And I think that's what the next person needs to do.
Yeah, McCarthy would be good for that too. Okay, that is interesting. That would be good too. I also think he was weird, like pseudo GM. And so I wonder how they'll move on from that too. But staying in the same division, let's take a break from the powerhouses. Let's go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
What does this team want?
I don't know. Oh no. What I can only assume is this team wants to make a bad decision. That's kind of all I could base anything on, because I don't know. There's two names that come to mind. One that you cannot interview unless you hire him. And the other one I think is a perfect pairing because I think it would be bad. One is this is the Cliff Kingsbury landing spot.
Yeah.
They need to figure out their offense. They want him to pick the next quarterback. They got 3. They're going to draft another. He is going to be the one to do that. The other name is Prime. And you bring in Coach Prime. You interview him to hire him. He doesn't leave the building. You already have his gear for him. If you interview Prime and don't hire him, that's the biggest mistake you can make, because he will trash the organization, especially after they don't go with Shedeur. So I don't know what Cleveland wants. I think if they can have their cake and eat it too, they will hire an offensive head coach and keep Schwartz as defensive coordinator. But everyone's saying that, like around the industry right now. People forget Schwartz has to say yes.
Which I'm wondering, I'm with you on bad decision making, which is why I think they might just hire Schwartz.
Maybe he's did or is going to interview, supposedly.
I just took a look, which I haven't done for the other ones, but for the Browns, I'm like, I feel like I've heard enough stuff. Monken and Schwartz are expected to be finalists, but then also Jags offensive coordinator Grant Udinsky has been
he's a
really
young guy.
Talked through. I think my official pick is going to be Schwartz. I just think that's what they're going to do. I think the owner is like being weird, and the GM are like, we've got it. We should be better. Like, I don't think they need to change, which I think is wrong. And to be fair, they did have a good defense. I think Jim Schwartz is getting a lot of credit for Myles Garrett, which I'm not saying he's bad at play calling at all. I think the defense was good, but I think it's funny to be like, Jim Schwartz has got a lot of shit everywhere. Now he gets to coach Myles Garrett. It's like, he should be head coach again. It's like, well, okay, maybe. You know, when he was really good in Detroit, when he had Ndamukong Suh, like, you know, that helps.
True. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But it was a good defense.
Who's your official guest? Dion?
No, I don't think they go Dion, because I don't think they believe in Shedeur. And if you hire Dion, you have to go with Shedeur.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Randy asks, like, who's getting McDermott? Could McDermott go here? I don't know if McDermott wants to rebuild the team or not, but he might not have a choice.
I don't know if this dude wants another clusterfuck, but I think he wants another head coach job. I don't think this is a terrible spot for McDaniel scheme-wise, but boy, is that going right back into, like, you have a lot of shit to manage, which he didn't do great. But in terms of, like, the kind of guy they want to bring in, McDaniel somewhat makes sense there. If they bring in Cliff Kingsbury, like, we're going to talk about him more at some other spots. you're just a glutton for punishment. He's such a bad fit here.
They
might do it. That's not saying they won't do it, but
I think they're for sure going offense. So I'm also thinking of like young guys who can't say no. Like if they're offered the job, you're like, oh, I'm getting a head coaching job. I have to say yes. Like, could Kubiak be that guy? Maybe. I think Kubiak will have a better option. But
Kubiak, Udinsky is a name that keeps coming up when I look at like guys who are like that. That would be
that does feel decent. I also wonder. There's almost no college coach getting rumored anywhere.
No,
could they go a college route? I don't know.
Jason Kelsey, tired of his other job, comes home.
Let Deshaun just coach him. I think Deshaun knows what's going on. I think it's fine.
He's got plenty of time on his hands.
He does. I'll go official guess. We'll go with fuck it. Go with Kingsbury just because it would be the funniest.
He's going to get a job somewhere, so it's not bad logic. Baltimore.
Baltimore, I think, is Jesse Minter. He is.
Yeah, that was who I was trying to think of earlier. Yeah, Minter.
He's good. He's really good. I think they bring in a defensive guy. I think they fix the defense, and away they go. So I think Ravens. There's only two candidates. I think it's Flores or Minter, and if they can't get Minter, they get Flores. If they can't get Flores, they get Minter. So I'm going that.
My official guess is Flores. Same exact agreement. I think fair. My added stinger is that he has worked for Pittsburgh. I think there's a little sting of like, we get him instead of you. But otherwise I just know a little bit more about him. I agree completely. I think both make sense. I think both would do really well here. I don't know. Flores kind of feels Baltimore to me too. I don't know.
I agree.
Exactly why, but that I would go there. But yeah, I do think Flores' name is coming up enough. This was the only other thing I was thinking, but maybe Baltimore won't want that. Flores' name is coming up enough. I think he's going to go to a heavy hitter. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Getting brought up like he's a pretty notable candidate at spots. So
I think that the reason for that is obviously he's a great defensive coach, but I think everyone wants to interview him to see what happened in Miami from his perspective. I really do. Like, there's a legitimate chance he interviews in all these places and doesn't get a job because he doesn't have the good answer. If it sounds like he hasn't learned from his past failures, the only team that would give him that job is Cleveland then,
Yes.
So we'll see. That's a very interesting situation though. So that's the AFC North. Obviously three teams in the AFC North are looking for a coach. Let's go to who else is left? Let's go to the Raiders. Who would you pick to take over for Pete Carroll? Another head coach, 3 head coaches in 3 years. Tom Brady supposedly is leading the search. So let's remember that because he keeps saying he wants more authority, and they keep saying he's getting more authority in the Raiders building, and they keep getting worse and worse and worse. So let's remember, if this doesn't work out, who we are blaming. We are blaming Tom Brady. With that in mind, who is Tom Brady going to hire? I've heard Clint Kubiak's name a lot.
It's so interesting. I have as well. Yeah.
You just brought over a Seattle Seahawks coach. Didn't work. Maybe try it again. Why not? This seems like a McDermott landing spot to me. I don't hate McDermott going here. Brady obviously knows McDermott very well playing against him while with New England. I think this feels like a decent landing spot for McDermott. This is my guess, I think. Because I think they swing big as well.
Yeah, and it's I think they want – that's my only thing with Kubiak. I was kind of thinking they'd go more established. So McDermott feels really good. Do I just agree? I think I might just agree. I think that's really good. Looking at my list of names who I also think are going to get jobs somewhere, the only other guy I could see here, but it's so funny because it's like, who does Brady like is going to be the difference maker.
Could he hire McDermott's offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, because he likes the last name.
Yeah, I do. Now that McDermott's available, I think I'm just going to go there. If I had to pick a dark horse, I do think this also could be a good spot for Nagy of like, let's bring in a dude from the Reed tree and just like see if he can be a long-term guy. But then I'm guessing at that point, because I'm just guessing the type of guy that Brady, if he gelled with, would hire. But without knowing who, I'm going to go McDermott because they want to succeed and they want to succeed now.
I haven't heard any people rumored here other than Kubiak, so there might be other interviews that I'm not aware of. But on the other side of the ball, same side of the ball as McDermott, I don't hate Vance Joseph here either. I could see them trying to hurt somebody in the division while improving themselves.
Yeah, I think that is a really good strategy. That seems like their camp.
It's like a Brady strategy.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking too. Okay, so that's Vegas. One more AFC team, the Tennessee Titans. I can start on this one. I mean, the Titans is basically like we're trying to match to our quarterback. This is the only spot I would root for him. This is my preferred landing spot for Cliff Kingsbury. Fine. Here's a dude that we think is good. You're supposed to be a QB whisperer. Go fucking do it with Cam Ward then. And like, don't be a bigwig, but like start at a place and make it into something. I would be into that of like, you get to build Tennessee. Cool.
Yeah. I think that's fair. The only thing I'll say is it sounds like Matt Nagy is guaranteed a job because Chiefs have already announced we're hiring Eric Bieniemy as offensive coordinator while Nagy has not gotten a head coaching job. So it seems very weird. So I think Nagy's going to Tennessee. He feels like a Tennessee guy. Obviously, if you're on a very basic level, if you don't know anything about football, which I think is the case in Tennessee, you say, hey, we have a young quarterback. We need to make sure he's good. Who do we hire? Let's hire the guy who has worked with Patrick Mahomes, who we believe is the best quarterback. So I think that's what they're going to do.
I like that. I think that makes a lot. I think they should just go like, this should be like your best offensive mind pick goes.
I agree.
Here,
Nagy's good. I don't disagree necessarily.
I have a strong faith in Matt Nagy that I just think he was screwed in Chicago. I guess that doesn't validate, but he made Mitch Trubisky like employed for 10 years. So I think there's something there. This would also be an interesting spot for Dable. I don't know if you want Dable to rebuild that much. McCarthy would be interesting, like with that level of building needed to do.
I think he's a culture changer, though.
100%. And that's, I mean, I think both of the guys we picked too, even though a little more developmental, are also like they bring their own culture with them, which is good. Yeah. This last one, I have no clue. I can't wait to see your thoughts on Arizona. I've got no read. It seems like they're interested in everyone who's not interested in them.
What the fuck's his name? The DC for Houston.
Oh, I did hear that too.
What's his name? I can't think of his name.
I'm on it right now.
Right? Matt Burke. He was DC there before getting the job in Houston. He's extremely respected. He's like a rocket scientist, intelligent type of dude. I like him a ton. So I could see Burke. He should get interviews. They just obviously lost, and now he has more time to do so. I can only imagine they bring him in since he's already got ties there. So I'm going to go with him. Did Vance Joseph have a head coaching job in Arizona before, or was he DC? You are muted again, just so you know.
I keep bumping my cord, and it keeps muting me. So thank you for letting me know. Vance Joseph, I do not believe. I thought Vance Joseph was only head coach in Houston.
I don't think Vance Joseph was he a head coach in Houston?
Oh, it's jobs. Let's take a look right now. No, you're totally right. Broncos, period. That's it.
Okay, he was DC in Arizona?
DC for Dolphins in Arizona, correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't hate that either. I could see him getting hired there. I think they'll go one of the two defensive coordinators there.
You think they're for sure going defense?
Because
can I tell you who I feel like fits Arizona like a glove? I don't know why.
Who?
Mike McDaniel.
That feels interesting. You know what? Maybe Cliff Kingsbury too. Why not?
If they put him back with Kyler, I'm gonna throw up. I don't need to do that again.
No, wherever he goes, maybe they bring Kyler. They trade for Kyler. Who knows? But
are they friends? I was trying to remember this the other day. Like, do they like each other?
I think so.
Yeah, I was like trying to track what terms they left on, and I was like, it was really And also, who knows how much longer Kyler's there? I don't.
I can tell you, he's gone before the season starts.
Yeah, so. That's part of it. But if you wanted to go the mad scientist route, I would go McDaniel here. Honestly, and I don't know if this should play a factor, I kind of love, you have a great wide receiver, or at least you fucking hope so.
His name's Michael Wilson.
Maybe you have two. They have a decent defense, so maybe you get a good coordinator. I like McDaniel in a division of dogs, just being like, on top of everything else the Rams, Seahawks, and Niners got going on, you have to play McDaniel twice a year. Does feel like a nightmare.
That's true. I think your mic switched, by the way, as well. But if they go offense, I could see they hire Clint Kubiak here from Seattle. I do think hiring committees, coaches, front office people, whatever, do like the idea of hiring a coordinator away from a divisional foe. So I think Kubiak's a decent idea, but my pick is still Burke. I think Burke is very good, but Vance Joseph, I think, is neck and neck. You're muted. You're on fire.
In hell, dude. Let me get my takes off microphone. My own dick over here. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm going to go with McDaniel because fuck him.
Is that everyone, or do we get
We've
more?
gone through it. That's all 7 openings.
That's a lot. That's a lot of head coaching openings. And Green Bay is not even one of them. Should have been. We should be talking about
Green Bay, not one of them. And by the way, this is the only thing I'll say about the Packers is the Packers got fucking hoodwinked by the rest of the league, being like, well, if you let LaFleur go, he's now our top choice.
Yeah.
Fucking everywhere.
Oh, then we better sign him. Fuck you. You're so dumb. It's the little kid thing where it's like, it's so stupid. Like, you want to get a kid to play with a toy.
Yeah.
And so you start playing with it and then they want it. It's so dumb.
I'm telling you though, Zach, it might work because somehow we kept him. I'm pissed about it. But Nagy left. No, not Nagy. Apologies. Halfley left, which means we have a defensive coordinator spot opened up. How do I make the Packer fans happy again? Jim Leonard, shaped hole right there, coming in hot, I hope.
He's hired, or he's interviewed for a couple DC jobs already. So maybe.
What's one more?
Maybe.
You know what I hate, though, is Jim Leonard comes into the Packer interviews and he's like, I really want it. It'd be really nice. Yeah. Like, he's so excited. And I feel like they're like, nah. I know.
On one hand, Packers need a DC with head coaching experience because they need somebody to lead this fucking team. But on the other end, they just need somebody who's competitive whatsoever. And Jim Leonard's a psychopath. So I think that would be really fun. Like, they just need somebody with energy whatsoever.
I think it'd be great. This is a real life story I'm about to compare this to, but it reminds me when I was doing interviews for my college job. I interviewed local when I wanted to come back to Wisconsin. I interviewed it. The only place I didn't get an on-campus at was Eau Claire. And years later, I approached the person and was like, hey, what could I have done different? Swear to fucking God, they were like, you were too excited for it. You were like, I'm from Eau Claire. I really want to be here. And they're like, that was just strange for our candidates. So we just didn't think it was very authentic. And I'm like, you're so unused to someone being pumped about your fucking school that you were like, can't trust it. I feel like that's the Packers and Leonard. They're like, it's too good. It would make too many people happy. That's like drafting TJ Watt makes too much sense.
It seems too good to be true. What's the problem? You know what? Let's not risk it.
What if this is the only reason we're just to make people happy, not his actual body of work?
What if TJ Watt was only good because of Vince Spiegel? Let's actually pass on him and just draft Vince Spiegel. Maybe we should do that.
It is, by the way, our miss rate on Badgers is crazy considering how many good Badgers have come out in this window that we just haven't had any interest in.
No. Why would we? I mean, we sent all of our scouts out to go and, scout people. We forgot to scout local. Whoops. Figured we knew everything.
Yeah. Well, don't we? So we'll see.
Yeah. Every offensive lineman ever. Nah. Let's not even think about it.
Never took a fucking tight end from there either. That always cracked me up.
No. We got Jared Abbrederis, and that's about it.
And we picked him up.
We haven't drafted anybody.
No. Technically, we got that one guy from Whitewater. Remember him? Rogers really liked him, the wide receiver.
Jake Kumaro?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have him. We sure did. We also got Cole Van Lanen. We drafted him. Yeah. He was terrible and then went and played a different position with Jaguars and just got paid a bunch of money. Good.
That's so true. I have one final thing that's not.
We didn't even draft Rafael Gaglianone when we wanted to draft a kicker. Just go get the kid. He could boot it.
He would have made it this week.
Everyone's so excited about the thicker kicker with the Los Angeles Rams. Wait till you see Rafael Gaglianone. The dude is a tank and he boots kicks.
Okay? I thought that too. The Rams guy's not that big.
No, let's do an Oklahoma drill between him and Gaglianone and we'll see who's standing.
Yeah. That game, by the way, do you feel like Stafford feels like he survived an encounter with dark magic?
Yeah. This was the game Stafford was deathly afraid to lose, and he was guaranteed to lose. Somehow he dodged fate, and then now he's playing with house money.
I got to tell you, I've never seen a more cursed play than that last touchdown for the Bears. How the guy covering him didn't think to stand right next to him.
Why would they?
Why the fuck would they, dude? Why would they do that?
I don't know. There's a couple games like that.
Sometimes you do have to run 15 yards back to get a little more room, though.
Gotta get a better view. Yeah,
I like that strategy. They can't sack me if I'm further away.
Why? The further we get into the game, the more defenses look like they're playing in the Dun St. Croix. Just tighten up. Like, I don't understand what's going on whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. And also, I was looking at this off screen. That's why I kind of zoned out for a second. But why the further a game goes, stop letting him do what he wants, motherfucker. Like, get him, dude. Like, people, like Caleb Williams has a crazy arm when it happens. Yep. They played him right finally on the play where he picked it off, which is let him just cover all the people. Just cover all the people. Send a normal rush because he's always going to throw it before you get there.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah, and just sit on it. He's going to throw it to you. Just wait.
Well, he's going to throw it in a crazy spot. And sometimes he throws it the world's worst pick. And sometimes, somehow, you moved away from your guy. He's alone in the back of the end zone. That's the only thing I'll say is, like, as much shit as you want to talk about Caleb Williams, the fact that dude was like, this ball's going to be too short. It's like, you fucking idiot. Back up, motherfucker.
That's not the way to play Caleb. Between that game and the Patriots-Texans game where neither team gave a single fuck about the football. There was 8 turnovers in the game. CJ Stroud, his soul left his body. He could not make a single play. He was screwed the entire game. Everything he did was a mistake. You've almost started to feel bad for the guy.
Almost.
Not almost. He's still an Ohio State quarterback, but yeah.
Yeah, by the way, nothing makes me less sympathetic than somebody being like, he's been a shell of himself since one of the best football seasons we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. True.
his rookie year.
It's true. And he was a great rookie. Is Jaden Daniels the same thing?
I don't know. I think we should sit. I think we should sit Stroud one game behind Andy Dalton and see what happens.
I mean, they kind of did. Remember, they let Davis Mills play like 6 games. He won them all, and then CJ Stroud came back and played well.
True, and so Davis Mills, we were all like, "See ya." Yeah,
he was really good this year, and I feel like no one cares. Like, no. I don't know if he's going to go get an opportunity. He was really good.
I think Davis Mills must own land in Houston. He doesn't want to go fucking anywhere. It's crazy. I know.
He's still on his rookie deal. I think he's a free agent now, so someone's going to get him. But
yeah,
who and for what? He's not going to be to start.
Yeah,
or even compete.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know, Zach. I am getting called into a work thing, so my last thought or question to you is this, which is, what game are you looking forward to more this weekend?
So we got Rams Seahawks, and then we got Patriots.
Jared Stidham and the boys. Yeah.
Jared Stidham revenge game. I'm always excited to watch Vrabel coach. So I like the Patriots a lot. But seeing the third matchup between Seahawks Rams, I think is going to be really good. Seahawks looked unbelievable, but now their second running back tears his ACL, so they're damaged a little bit. But Seahawks feel like the team of fate, the team of destiny. The last 2 times a Pope has taken over, Jake, the Seahawks have won the Super Bowl. And you're muted again, but that I think that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah,
I think the Pope. I was really assuming it was going to be the Bears, who the Pope's a fan of, versus the Seahawks, who's the team the Pope is going to bless to win the whole thing. So we didn't get that matchup, though.
But you know what we're getting instead, Zach? I put this piece together with my dad this morning.
Okay.
Of course, the most anti-Minnesota Vikings game we could possibly get. That will be the true narrative. Stephon Diggs, forever kicked out with the Eagles, or Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Vikings fans. You thought this was your year. Instead, your leftovers are in the Super Bowl.
That's true. They've both been great. They've been saying that's not bad. That's not bad.
I do think it's going to be MVP candidate versus MVP candidate. I think we get Stafford versus May.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Old versus young, which, by the way, Stafford has to hate that it's like fucking grandpa.
Right. If Stafford doesn't make the Super Bowl, I think I'm going to be bummed out. Seahawks are good, though. They're scary good.
They are scary good, but it's like, is what they do repeatable and they're just so good all the way around. Like, it's like we're scoring opening kickoff touchdowns
every
time
to
the fucking house. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Like, but we 3 stages of the game. You know, we're intense all the time. I don't know. I want Seattle to win, but I also am rooting for Stafford. And honestly, it sucks. Seattle loses a lot of magic when they're not playing in Seattle. This year they've been good on the road, but
yeah. I mean, at least it's just a short drive because it's just in San Francisco. We'll go out on this as Jake is muted and he's talking to himself. So we'll be back next week. Jake will get a new hotkey to figure out his muting situation, and we'll be back to break down the Super Bowl matchup. And, you know, we got 2 weeks of Super Bowl coverage, and we'll also dive back into Olympic coverage a little bit too. We're going to get to the bottom of the mysterious murder or natural cause death.
Yeah.
And the carbonated water ice hockey thing.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to get on that right now while I go to work.
We'll be back next week.